Another day. Lockdowns continue. More news, more disinformation, more propaganda, more bullhawk. So, as this coronavirus wars on, I understand the president, even governors, they're under pressure to do something, and yet at the same time, some of what it is that they're proposing and doing is just, it's going to be beyond devastating. I'm sorry. This $4 trillion stimulus? Are you kidding me? Hey, if they really wanted to do something, how about for the remainder of the year, just not take any taxes out of people's paychecks at all? In other words, reward the worker, stop rewarding the freeloader. Now, I know there are people who are legitimately out of work as a result of coronavirus, and if they wanted to enact some legislation and some funding to beef up the unemployment for those who were working and lost their job due to coronavirus, we as Americans would certainly be on board with that. But to just carte blanche give everybody this $1,200 check, whether they work, don't work, still working, this is beyond unbelievable. Not to mention the billions and billions and billions that is nothing but pure pork and political payback and payoff for other political favors being done, special interest, money for the Green New Deal, money for illegal immigration, yada, 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 yada. And we, in the end, will get shafted and stuck paying for all of this. That said, Dr. Fauci was on CNN, and of course they love to be able to find anything that they can twist that he and the president are at odds over the corona strategy. The president has been abundantly clear he would like to start putting the country back to work on Easter, and he picked Easter as a symbolic date. It's the resurrection of Jesus Christ. How about the resurrection of America? Now he's been getting blowback and pushback from the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media and other politicians, including the newest rogue little dictator, the governor of Michigan. Dr. Fauci said on CNN, the coronavirus is in charge of the timeline, not politicians. Now, I know what he meant, and he's right in this sense. We can't just pick a date that, poof, it's over. But CNN wants to take that statement and now use that as a way to again, show that the president doesn't know what he's doing, he's not listening to the experts around him, etc., etc., etc. And so now the president has hinted that he may put New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut on complete lockdown quarantine because the virus shows no signs of slowing. Let me give you a really expert analysis. Duh. You already have people on a lockdown quarantine. And if it shows no signs of slowing, that's because viruses don't just poof go away. They have to burn through. And so the only way this virus is actually going to be beaten is God himself either has to miraculously take it away, or we have to have medical science come up with the treatments. There is also something that God put in the natural order of things called herd immunity. In other words, a virus has to rip through the hosts, and the more it rips through, the more others build up a resistance to it, an immunity to it, an ability to fight it off. There is a reason that a few years ago, doctors were telling us, stop using hand sanitizer. Stop it. You are killing your body's ability to fight disease, to fight germs. Now we're told the exact opposite. These so-called medical experts, in the beginning of the corona outbreak, we were told it could not be passed human to human. Remember that? Remember why these Chinese people got it from eating bats? Can't. These are the same so-called people now telling the president we got to go into lockdown, got to go national quarantine. Mr. President, you broke my heart on signing that stimulus package. Don't back up on what your gut instinct is telling you regarding reopening the country. I know why you signed the stimulus. You signed it because you are pragmatic. You are trying to get some money back into the hands of the American worker. You do understand, and I know the left loons are going bat crap crazy that banks got buyouts, banks got, well, you know, if the banks go under, we all go under. Duh. But it's all that other pork that was in there that the GOP did not fight, did not get rid of. And the one GOP congressman that tried to fight it, you guys muscled and got your will through anyway. But I get politically why you had to do it. It doesn't make me happy. But I am concerned as a conservative and one with some libertarian leanings. What is America going to look like when this is over? Seriously, there isn't going to be any date you can announce that now it's safe for everybody to come out and the virus is gone. It doesn't work like that. And again, worst case scenario, it has a 3% mortality rate. 3%. Some doctors say, could get as high as 5%. Okay. In this country, this year, last year, and every year for nearly 100 years, the flu, good old influenza, has been in double digits, and we're celebrating that for the past several years, the flu in the United States only has about a 7% mortality rate. We think, yeah, woohoo! Only 7% of the people that get it die. And now we are freaking out and putting the country into total lockdown over 3%. Maybe. And right now, we're still hovering at less than 1%. And so when the president says this isn't slowing like it should, well, first of all, you got to let people out and about, let this thing breathe through the population. You know you have the medical ability to treat this. Don't let the naysayers in the media, don't let your Dr. Fauci, or however it is you pronounce his name, talk you out of it. You already know that it is being used with great success. What is the political agenda behind keeping us under this lockdown? We are even hearing reports now. It's not just Humvees of soldiers and National Guard being brought into locations, but even now armored tanks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Empty streets, empty stores, empty. Anybody get the idea that this is a test run for something? And look how quickly they did it, how they turned a virus that we heard about on the news chirping in the back of our ears for during the months of December and January and into February and paid it very little attention. And then all of a sudden we get to March, and within 2 weeks they put everybody into absolute pandemonium and hysteria. What are they going to do to us when it is real? Because this whole thing has been hyped up beyond all reality. I went to the supermarket today. It's amazing to watch people still hoarding. Supermarket's not doing anything to stop it. And I watched one guy, he had a grocery cart filled with, he must have bought every pork chop in the meat section. And I'm just looking at that, and I'm looking at the cashier, and I'm like, really? You're just going to let him do this? I watched another guy. He had his homemade face mask on, and he had Playtex, those rubber gloves. And he puts his, he's all over the supermarket, and then I actually saw him out in the parking lot unloading his groceries, and then he wheels his cart back over to the cart rack. Now, this is what I mean. People don't even know what they're doing with wearing masks and gloves. He's just had the gloves on because he doesn't want to touch that cart. He could get coronavirus. But with his gloves still on, He fixed his glasses and I watched him wipe his eye. You think maybe you should have taken the gloves off first before you did that? But this is the point. This is a pandemonium and hysteria created over a gross manipulation of people and exaggeration of the facts. And I am concerned. What are we going to look like when this is over? You remember the gas wars that we used to go through where the price of gas would, it would seemingly go up 50 cents, 80 cents overnight. And then finally, the politicians would holler and scream because the people were hollering and screaming. And we'd watch it roll back 25 cents. We were like, wow, look at the price of gas now. But it was still 75 cents more than it was a year ago at that time. And the gas companies just smiled. Gotcha. When this so-called pandemic is over, how many of our rights and normalcy will we not get back that we'll still go, wow, look, I'm actually allowed to go outside now? Stay informed, stay tuned in, and don't allow yourself to be spoon-fed propaganda. Hey, that's it for this quick little mini rant. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate you and your support for this channel. I do read your comments. Thank you. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Spread this video and make sure you share it to your social media platforms. And again, remember, smack the bell for notification of my rants and make sure you've clicked the word all.